Welcome back to part 2 of the full driving tour around Lubbock. Like I mentioned in my last video, if you haven't watched the first part of this video, that's where I talk about downtown Lubbock, central Lubbock, and some parts of South Lubbock by HEB and off of 114th and Slide. So this next part of the video, I'm going to be driving and taking you west Lubbock, down Milwaukee, and over into Wolfforth, and just that little neighborhood that people love to visit and love to look at whenever they think of a more family-friendly oriented neighborhood and still want to be in Friendship ISD schools. So we're going to get after it right now. We're going into Oakmont. Oakmont is one of the luxury neighborhoods here in Lubbock. As you can see, they are going to be on a lot larger lot size. You're going to have beautiful grand homes. Most of the homes, almost all of them, are going to be rear entry, and so the garages are going to be in the back. 2 to 3 car garages. You're gonna have beautiful landscape throughout. You're gonna have a mix of newer construction, modern. Also, you're gonna have a mix of traditional brick exteriors, traditional interiors as well. Our friends lived in this area over here. The people that live in Oakmont love Oakmont, not only because of the location. Look how close we are to HEB. You also feel like you're tucked away from HEB because you don't have to, you're still far enough away from all the noise and nonsense, right? But you're so close. And then 2, you're not far from Quaker, where all the restaurants are, where we just came from. You have Las Brisas, which is an awesome restaurant that's just right across from HEB that we didn't pass, just on the other side of HEB. So you have close proximity to really anything you want. You're in Cooper ISD schools. People love to be in Cooper. A lot of the people that live in Oakmont too, a lot of tech, athletic coaches live in Oakmont. Cliff Kingsbury used to live in Oakmont. I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure a football coach lives in Oakmont. There's a lot of women's basketball coach that used to live in Oakmont. So a lot of higher professionals live in Oakmont. Doctors, attorneys, they will be here. A lot of people that own their own businesses will live in Oakmont. As you can see as I'm driving around, every house is going to be different. Every house is not the same by any means. You do have a few of the same builders, maybe here and there, obviously. There's only so many builders in Lubbock, right? But every house is so different. And it's just so pretty. I love driving through here. It's just like, it's so peaceful because people don't realize that this is Lubbock. People don't realize that we have this in Lubbock. They just think of campus when I think of Lubbock, or they think of the old school off of the central Lubbock where we just came from. They don't realize that this is all back here. Okay, so if you were to continue, we're gonna head out. We're gonna try to go towards Slide. Now, I'm not gonna take you towards South Slide. We are going to continue our trek west. Now, if you were to go straight on South Slide, you would run into South Fork and Davis Park and going into New Home. And that's where you'll have the luxury, very similar style home, just on an acre lot. Luxury, but on acre lots, right? And so newer construction mixed with existing construction, you have definitely a diverse mix. Some of the same builders are in Oakmont that they are in South Fork as well too. So very similar, but just on land, and it's very peaceful out there. You're far enough away from everything, but again, not very far. So this is Slide. So we went from Indiana to Quaker, now to Slide. They all run north to south. So I'm gonna take a right on Slide. So I'm heading back north. And we came up to the new shopping center off Slide that I talk about a lot. And that is where we're gonna have Johnny Fabs. You're gonna have the new location of the Plaza. You're gonna have a few boutiques mixed in here. Love a good baby boutique. And then Moto Medi. There's a title company that's in there. Beam is an awesome red light sauna place that we have here. And then right down 114 in Quaker was HEB. We're at 114 and Slide. And so it's just right down there. Again, this is another United. So United is not very far from HEB. This was built a few years ago. It's not very old. It does have Evie Mae's Barbecue in their store, which I love a good Evie Mae's. And then you have Woodhouse, and you have Summer Moon Coffee. Everybody loves Summer Moon. And then you have this new UMC hospital. It is awesome to have this here because before, if you lived in South Lubbock, you weren't near the hospitals. You had to go all the way by campus. And that's a trek if you need the hospital real quick. So it's so great that we have that here, that they just built that. It's definitely, I've taken my daughter, there's an urgent care over there. I've taken my daughter, I've been there a few times. It's just so convenient, so nice to have. So now as we can continue going north side, as you can see, there's a lot of retail happening. This is a lot of newer retail that's happening right here off of north side. And we're going to head northwest to Preston Manor. So I really want to take you now west because we've hit Central, we've hit South, and now all that's left to do is to show you one of the most popular neighborhoods that I get a lot of questions about when people are moving here, and that is Preston Manor. Now I'm going to go down here to 82nd Street and take a left on 82nd Street so that way you can see all of 82nd that I talk about a lot, and how 82nd Milwaukee and how it is truly grown. It's like its little own new downtown. I say that a lot in my videos and you'll be able to see why, which I'm really excited about. But Milwaukee is just parallel to Upland, and Milwaukee is also parallel to Slide. So if you get my drift, we're all going north and south here, just slowly making our way west. But Preston Manor is just one that we cannot skip on. Okay, now as I come up to 82nd and Slide, we're gonna take a left. I also just passed by Lake Ridge Country Club. I'm sorry, I definitely did not point that out. But between Quaker and Slide is the golf course, and between like 98th and 82nd is the golf course, and so it's in between that little section right there. Again, Lubbock is a very big grid system, and so everything is just, it's very easy to follow if you're driving around. It's really hard to get lost. I know as we're driving around you might catch that. I know I've mentioned it before, but okay, so as we head west on 82nd, I'm also going to be talking about just a little bit of what I'm looking at, and also too, we'll go right on Milwaukee. Right now, we might be able to hop on the highway. I know I haven't really jumped on the highway, and to be honest with you, you don't need to whenever you're in Lubbock. It's especially when you're in south of town, like kind of where we are now. Really, the loop and the highway is to get you in and around Central Lubbock. If you need to get in and around from Target to Walmart to Indiana, if you're over there by Costco, you know, so it's just a kind of, it's all around Central Lubbock right now. And where we were off a Slide by Oakmont, that's where the new loop is going to be. So we were on 114th. You go a little bit further, that's 130th Street. And that's essentially the new loop, or a loop 88. And so the loop 88 is going to be a 10 to 15 year project that's going to be connecting, you know, east to west to north Lubbock, east to south to west to north. I mean, it's going to be a huge loop. And so it's not going to go, as of right now, to North Lubbock. That's going to be the last leg of the construction. However, it is going to be a huge deal whenever it's finished. That way we finally can have a loop that gets us around quicker from east to west Lubbock. But as of right now, you do what I'm doing right now. I take you along, we go through 82nd or the numerical streets if we need to go east to west, or we go down to numerical, did I say that right, or alphabetical if we want to go north to south. So it's not that hard. It's not that much traffic as you're catching my vibe. I wanted to do it at a little bit of different times. Right now we're heading into rush hour traffic, and you can see this is rush hour. I'm not doing this at the crack of dawn where there's no cars, or I'm also not doing it even if in the middle of the day. In the middle of the day, there's also a ton of traffic because Lubbock is Lubbock, and people have all sorts of different jobs here in town. We don't necessarily have traditional office jobs everywhere. So it pretty much is busy like this, kind of constantly. But as we get more towards Milwaukee, you'll see a lot more recreational, you'll see a lot more commercial, you'll see a lot more Restaurants, Stella's is a really good restaurant right here. I love to go to Stella's. Stacked is a really good brunch place. And I mean, as we're driving, we're passing by so many restaurants. I will talk about the ones that I personally love. But we have the most restaurants per capita than any other city in Texas. I mean, we have so many restaurants in this town. It's insane. I wish we had more healthier options. We are starting to get a lot more healthier options, but we don't have as many right now as if you're driving around Houston and Dallas. You drive around downtown, it's like health option left to right. 92 Bakery Cafe is one of my favorite spots. If we ever connect and you ever do want to make your way to Lubbock, most likely we will be meeting at 92 because I love that bakery and it is so good. I love to take clients because honestly they make their homemade pastries. They close by 2 or 3 and when they sell out, they sell out. Okay, so I'm gonna take a right on Milwaukee. Actually, we might jump on the highway just because I'm going this way. I'm gonna take a right on Milwaukee and I want to show you everything that Milwaukee has to offer. It's just another one of those restaurants. If we want to go out to brunch or we want to go eat at a restaurant, most likely it will be off Milwaukee if we want it super quick. So you have Alvaron's is a really good, great Mexican restaurant. You have Chipotle over here. Farmhouse is a great local brunch spot, lunch spot. You have this little shopping center right here. Love Picoso's. It's a Mexican restaurant. Shaq's Big Chicken opened up. Shaq apparently owns that franchise. You have Cycle Bar, you have Tea to Go, another Tea to Go, Signature Stag, which is an awesome boutique, men's and women's boutique. We actually got our suits from there for our wedding. And then you have Teddy Jack's right here to my right. They own a few local restaurants here in town. And then right here on my left is a small little neighborhood called Primrose, and then to my right is the Bacon Crest area. So Bacon Crest is another neighborhood that I love, that I have clients like to go to if they want more of a traditional house in the 400,000s, built in the early 2000s. Same with Primrose. Primrose is just kind of off by itself, has an awesome little school in Primrose. It's not a very big neighborhood at all. And then we're gonna come up to one of my favorite brunch spots and winery. It's not really a winery, it's more of like, they have lots of wine options, but Funky Door. If you are a brunch fool, or you just love to eat and you want to come here on a Saturday and go to one of the craziest places, Funky Door is where you go. It is so good. Everybody's always there, especially on graduation, especially on game day nights if it's an away game, or especially on Saturday and Sunday brunch. Sunday brunch, you have to make a reservation like weeks in advance. It's always booked. So we're coming up to the Loop. So we're actually gonna hop on the Loop and we're gonna go towards west. We're gonna head into Wolforth and Preston Manor. Now, primarily a lot of the new construction is happening south and southwest Lubbock. I know I talk about that a lot, and especially if you're looking at a budget of $200,000 to $300,000. That's where we're going to right now, similar. We're going to West Lubbock, and that's gonna be, your track home builders, Beaton Bow, D.R. Horton. They build a lot out in this area because they have some master plan communities that are relatively affordable if you're looking for a brand new construction, easy maintenance, low maintenance, basic move-in ready house. Lots of options. And when you come to Lubbock, that's where you're going to be primarily looking if that's what you're looking for and wanting. And so it's another reason why I wanted to take you west into the Wolforth area, is because that way you can kind of see really how close it is to Lubbock. Because I was on 82nd and now we're going into Upland, and this is technically the line between Lubbock and Wolforth. And so the Beaton Bow and D.R. Horton communities that are going to be a little bit lower end on the 300K and under are going to be a little bit further. I would stay on the Brownfield Highway or 6282, still go that way towards Brownfield, and you would exit into closer to in the heart of Wolforth. It's right next to Evie Mae's Barbecue, which would be really dangerous for me because I love Evie Mae's. It is a really good barbecue place. Most of the time, I always tell my clients to go to Evie Mae's whenever they visit Lubbock because it was in the Houston Chronicle as one of the best barbecue places in Texas to go to, and of all places, it's here in Lubbock. So we are going to go right on Upland. So Upland is having a lot of construction. If you've watched any videos of mine as far as what's new and upcoming in Lubbock, one of the points that I talk about is all of the construction on Upland. They are widening this road right here, which is definitely going to make a huge difference with all of the newer construction that is over in the Preston Manor area. This gets really busy. It gets really congested really easily. It used to only be two lanes. I can't even turn here. It's going to be 4. So I always go the back way, but they're widening it, and so we're just gonna have to reroute. I always forget that they're widening this, even though I talk about it a lot. It's like just kind of second nature that I just drive this way. But while I'm driving this way, I will talk about this neighborhood I also talk about a lot too, and that's Escandido and Escandido Ranch. Escandido and Escandido Ranch are in vineyards at Escandido, which is a multi-million-dollar luxury property here. That is also going to be right in this area. So it actually kind of worked out. I was able to show you where this is located. Again, see how it's not very far. Technically, it's still in the Lubbock area. It's just north of Preston Manor, and you can see all of the newer homes. So a lot of these newer homes are going to be like a few different builders. You have Roten Homes is going to be in here. You'll have Dan Wilson will be in here. So as you see, a lot of these homes are, it's one of the brand new construction neighborhoods that I'm like, hey, if you're not going to be in Lubbock long, do not buy here, because there is a lot of new construction going on, and you're going to be selling a house that's right next to a house that's being built, and in a few years you're going to be trying to sell it along with the builder that's also selling their new construction home. David Rogers is an awesome builder as well. So I like this neighborhood because of the diversity of builders. You don't have just one master plan community by one builder. Every house, except for a few, most of them are going to look different. They're going to have different exteriors. They're going to have different interiors. Dan Wilson is building over here. Dan Wilson is an amazing builder. He builds luxury high-end properties, and he builds homes that are around the $300,000 to $400,000 property as well too. Again, this is also one of the newer elementaries in Ridgewood Elementary. You also have one of the newer middle schools in this neighborhood too. So I've talked about that before, is if you want to be located directly in a neighborhood where you're close to an elementary and a middle school, this is it. Your kids can walk home from this location so easy. It's so quick and convenient. That's why people like it. So again, if you plan to be in Lubbock and you want not a cookie cutter home, but you want to still be in that $400,000 price point in a neighborhood with that school is important to you, this is a great one to check out. Escandido and Escandido Crossing, that I've mentioned before a couple times. So we're just gonna go the back route. Oh, I guess he was not turning. Maybe he was turning. We're just gonna exit that out. Okay, thanks for driving slow. All right. So now we're going the back roads towards Preston Manor. Now, hopefully, right here, we can take a right and we can enter Preston Manor. I'm really excited to show you Preston Manor's clubhouse. I think that I talk about that a lot. I put pictures up a lot too. But again, Dane Wilson is also building in that neighborhood. There's a lot of other builders that are building in that neighborhood. I've actually had some clients that wanted to build with him in one of the phases of Preston Manor. There's a few different phases, like anything in Lubbock. We have a few different ones. They're just kind of called different names, different parts, little micro subdivisions within the subdivision itself. But this is one of the roads that they're widening, as you can tell. The roads aren't very good, and they are high traffic areas just because of how much growth we're getting. Also, across from Preston Manor in these little subdivisions right here to my right, there's like maybe 10 or 12 homes in each one. These little pocket subdivisions are so cute. They're so darling on a little bit of land. A lot of these homes right here are technically in the not in Preston Manor, but Preston Hollow. Those are going to be around $300,000. One of these houses to my right is actually listed right here. It's actually listed for over $1.5 million, maybe just under. But we go into Preston Manor. You can see the pretty little entry here. And Preston Manor also has a big walking trail that you can walk all the way around the entire neighborhood. It's a big mile walking trail. It's super fun to walk if you are into needing a walking trail in your neighborhood. Okay, so I'm gonna take you just quickly by one of the biggest houses in Preston Manor, not in Lubbock. This is an awesome house right here. It is so large. It's on a few different lots. I mean, it is so cool. And at Christmas time, whenever you drive by, you see the lights. It's so pretty. And then to my left is the Preston Manor Park. That's where people love to come. They feed the ducks. I've showed a few videos of it before. Isn't it cute though? You have houses that surround it. You have people right here you can see playing on their golf cart. You see all the ducks, feeding the ducks. Only corn, no bread. Don't feed ducks bread, ever. And then all around here, you just have a beautiful house after beautiful house. Most of the homes are gonna be around $400,000 up to over $1 million. So you have a range of prices here in Preston Manor. They are such a community feel neighborhood. Everybody loves their neighbor here. You have people riding on their golf carts. They have a Preston Manor parade during Halloween, during the 4th of July. You decorate your golf cart. It is so much fun. Another neighborhood that people love to come to definitely during trick-or-treating because it's such a, it's so sweet. People here are so sweet. They generally love Preston Manor. Like if you live here, you like would ride or die for Preston Manor. Preston Manor is in a PID. It is one of the few neighborhoods that is actually in a PID here in Lubbock. So I'm gonna take a left right here. We're gonna go by the clubhouse and that'll be the end of our quick little tour. So if you have any questions about moving to Lubbock or the Wolforth area, I'd love to connect with you. Definitely show you around Lubbock. I have a Lubbock relocation guide that I can send you that talks about all the neighborhoods that I've talked about today, and that goes into more depth about some of the other neighborhoods that maybe I didn't mention on, that I didn't touch on. So I'd love to send that over to you. As always, you can drop your email or your phone number in the comments, or send me a DM or text me with the number in my description or right here. And I'd love to meet you and your family and help you make a smooth transition to the Lubbock area. So as we come up to the clubhouse, this is the clubhouse. You have the gym, the tennis courts right here. You'll have the pool. I'm gonna just kind of pull in real quick and give you a little tour. But that's really it. I hope that you enjoyed our tour of Lubbock. And if you have any questions regarding what we've talked about today or any questions about Lubbock, I'd love to help answer those and meet you and your family. And until next time, we'll see you around.